Good morning, everyone. It is Monday, October 31st, 9:46 a.m. And I want to do this quick video to let you know how I've set myself up for this week. I believe that long oil, of course, is going to be the best place for everyone to be in the near term. Here in Canada, when you go to the gas station, it's $1.75 a liter here. You have to do the math to be able to figure that out. That's still a hell of a lot of money. The oil company earnings were very, very strong. Everybody else's earnings were very, very weak. And oil is just, since we can't get it out of the ground, we can't refine it fast enough, and because it's in such short supply, oil is a great place to be. So what I've done this morning is as you know, I was only into, by the time the market opened this morning, I was only into ExxonMobil with my 5 contracts that you see there. And that's doing well on the day, $169 so far. It's only 14 minutes into the 15 minutes in, whatever the heck it is. But then I also have the XLE, which is doing really well too, up $212 today. There is no reason to change any of those. Those are long dated contracts as well too. As you see there on the XOM, it is December. So I've got a month. It's a good time frame. That should be up $1,000 by the time it's already up $259. That should be up $1,000 by the time I go and move that. I'll just move it down the road is all that I will do. I will sell it, take that same amount of money and buy the options longer dated out in the future. So I just did that on Friday, and I have a $259 gain on that long oil Exxon. And then XLE, I've got plenty of time in that. It's a week earlier, which is good for me because I can't do it all at once or keep track of it all at once. And I'm already up $294. So what that means is that I could go over and fill up the tank on my pickup truck today and break even. I could give the money all back, those gains that I have, the $500. I could go over and fill up my pickup truck and give the oil companies $500, and they would give me $500 for the stock trade. So it doesn't work out that way exactly. That was a joke. It only cost me about $100 to fill up my tank. Anyway, that's what it's getting down to be. Pretty soon you're going to have to buy the stock just to be able to go over and fill up the tank. But then I also went in long on Chevron. I love Chevron as well too. Chevron and Exxon, of course, are the two majors. Chevron and Exxon, what the play is there too is that both of them ship natural gas. And as you know, natural gas contracts are going to be going through the roof here as Europe starts to freeze. That will be kind of like a T-Boone Pickens moment. T-Boone made $8 billion off of natural gas. So anyway, that I'm kind of thinking that that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, there are no good pure play natural gas players in the United States. But when you own Chevron and you own Exxon, you own the 2 largest natural gas producers on the planet, basically, other than some of the places that you can't buy. But then I went in, and we're at war, so I went in and I went long Honeywell because Honeywell was selling off today on the open, so that gave me an opportunity to be able to step back into my Honeywell trade. I like it so much, I stepped in there with 3. I bought the 1111, so that's close because it's 2 weeks away. The 1111 200 option at $590 already, as you can see, that's up $148 in the day. And then Raytheon, I like Raytheon as well too. Again, a kind of a lesser pure play, a war play. Raytheon is more of an industrial. They have different business units that do different things other than just make war toys. That trade I'm back into today as well too. Then the word out of China is, again, this is a weird one. It's a very hard one to play. It's like buy and hold because China is just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. They're just going down the drain. The second largest economy on the globe is going down the drain. Shanghai is now all locked down. Disney Shanghai is all locked down. The Foxconn plant, the Apple plant is all shut down. People are fighting, or the news coming out of China, you have to dig for it to find it, but the news coming out of China is that people are now fighting over the food inside the Foxconn plant in Shanghai. Apple can't supply them, or Foxconn, whoever's supposed to supply the workers with food, can't supply food fast enough, and they're starting to starve, and they can't leave the building because the guys with guns are outside the building saying, no, you can't leave the building. So it's one of those really, really tough quandaries that they have over there in China that nobody knows about, and we're not talking about on our national press because we love China, supposedly. But the communists have taken over complete control. The strong communists, not the weak communists, but the strong communists have now taken over complete control of China, and that is now a good play for shorting. So again, I'm only up 18 bucks in the trade here today, but over the course of the day, that will just continuously move higher. So by the time I get to the end of the day, I might have $100, $125 gain in there that I can go ahead and use that money to go over and fill up my tank with. I'm not sure. Or I could be driving my Fiat 500, which gets a little bit better fuel economy today. And then XLE, of course, I own, and then Ultra Pro Short, the SQQQs. I'm getting back there. I'm not breaking even yet on my SQQQs. I just couldn't get rid of them, and that's why I couldn't get rid of them. It's only one share in the first place. So I'm up $632 in the day here today. Let's go ahead and see if there's any change in this since I've been chatting. Yeah, so I've gone down 444. So again, my Chevron play is down a little bit. My Exxon play, they're giving oil back because they're going to start having to sell. All of the pension funds are going to have to start having to sell here today. If we look at what our index is doing, yeah. So the problem here now is that we have tons of buyers coming into the market. All of the businesses are coming in with their cash to buy, but then all of the hedge funds and the pension funds have to sell. Because they're all bankrupt. They don't have enough money to be able to pay their obligations. And that's what's going on in Europe, as we know. That's why the United States had to give the 17 banks, actually, in Switzerland, that was the news over the weekend, too. You guys don't know. The United States had to give billions of dollars to the 17 banks in Switzerland, which is the strongest place to ever bank in the globe. And they were all belly up. As it turns out, Credit Suisse was actually in default. And that's why all of the money needed to go into Europe. As you know, Germany is sinking. That's the largest economy in Europe. And they don't have any power to be able to run the BMW plant, so you can't build cars if you can't have power. They're using the power to be able to keep their people, trying to keep their people warm, moving all of their people, of course, into kind of communist types of warming camps, basically, over in Germany. Germany also took over one of its companies. That's not a good trend when a supposedly free government takes over a company. Hey, we're going to just take you over. You're now us. It's never a good thing in a free society. So Germany has got its own problems, internal problems as well too. So that's where we're at, 444. As you know, I'm just kind of riding this out. Long oil. I believe that that's a good spot for me to be. I don't know about for you to be. Let's just go ahead and refresh again. Yep, 548. So I'm moving around $100, $100 here and there. What's going? Yep, and my yang. It takes time. You have to be very patient with that Chinese trade, short trade, because it takes a lot of time. But throughout the day, it will march up. By the time we get to 3 or 4 o'clock, I should have a gain in there to be able to go ahead and execute. And I'll get rid of that. I don't like carrying it over the weekend because a lot of bad data can come out of. Now, last thing, the reason the market is down today too, there's a guy that works at the Wall Street Journal. His name is Nick, and 2 weeks ago he wrote that according to him, the Federal Reserve was going to pivot. They were going to not raise interest rates 2 days from now. Which is just was a lie. It was a created lie to get the market to go soaring, and that's why we're up 2,000 points to mathematical data that doesn't make any sense. And so the market, when it doesn't make any sense, does eventually correct. The concept that in the indexes that we're down 220 points, it is correcting now. And if we go in and click this, we should be, 235. So we're getting worse and worse and worse throughout the day. And this day could be a Black Monday because the Wall Street Journal guy came out and chuckling and said on his Twitter feed, hey, you know, I was lying. It's amazing how fast I've moved the market, and it's amazing that I moved the market with my little fake tweet, 2,000 points. It never made any sense to me when it happened. And now he's saying, it was just a joke. That was funny. And he should be fired, of course. But the Wall Street Journal will not fire him. If it was my employee, he would be fired. Just like if you watched the Michigan and Michigan State football game, the head coach at Michigan State would also have been terminated immediately. It would just be the way that it would be with me. There was absolutely no reason for his players. I believe that he's building the wrong culture in the football program to have them beat to a pulp a Michigan player in the locker room, basically, or in the hallway to the locker room, would not be a good thing for me, and he would be out. But anyway, those are the things for me. Again, if we quote here, we're down 238, so we're getting worse and worse and worse. And eventually this will turn around. People will get smarter and say, wait a second, there still are some great places to be able to make some money. And where are we at now? Yeah, 432. So 430, 550, 430, 550, 430, 550. I'm going to vacillate in that zone, and I will get to work. Enjoy your Monday. Bye-bye.